How many times in your career have you had to do a conversation with somebody about oysters and oysters as an aphrodisiac? I am so fed up with that topic.
Do you remember there was a show I did, and you remember this show? I did a terrible, terrible program for about a year here in New York where we would cover this on a regular basis, this type of show, where it was the...
9 Broadcast Plaza.
Thanks for remembering, Bill. You could have fished around for that a little bit before just coming right out with it.
I'll tell you why. Because we can't even find tapes of the program.
You know why? I have destroyed those tapes. I have destroyed those tapes.
What was the worst moment that you can remember from 9 Broadcast Plaza? And if you say it's a guy asking you about, were you comfortable with women, I'll kill you. The lowest point.
We have a publicist from NBC over in the corner here who's going to scream when I say this, but I will tell you I had to do an hour and a half. This was a 3-hour live show every day. I had to do an hour and a half on women who fake orgasm. Do I look like the kind of guy who's be comfortable talking about that for a half a minute, much less an hour and a half?
I'm sure it's a subject you weren't even familiar with. Impression that certainly from reading your book, and that separation during your marriage, when Prince Andrew was away and you were pregnant, you said that at that point you went up to 200 pounds. You know, what do you say to somebody watching right now who is really reaching for food as an emotional companion?
Can I finish this?
You certainly can.
You can keep talking for a bit.
So what to do is, while she's finishing that bite, just put your hand down for 1 second, you know. Stay away from the Twinkies for 1 moment. And
Twinkies? What are Twinkies?
What are Twinkies?
Oh, no.
When I come with Trevor, we're going to have a case of Twinkies for you and the girls. Twinkies are an American fast food product that is a cake that has cream inside. They're really not too... We have some here? Oh, hand over the Twinkies. Here, just the whole box. Now, I don't want to suggest that, you know, you go off the 1, 2, 3.
No, we'll check the fiber and the diet content, so we might be able to have one if we happen to be
I don't know if they have fiber.
What?
What do you think?
Dietary fiber 0.
0 fiber?
Yeah. Protein 1.
1 protein.
Total carbohydrate 25.
Oh, bulking up. What else?
Sodium 200.
200?
Yeah.
Oh, I can see the water retention first thing in the morning.
Okay, great.
Well, I wanted to show you one.
Sorry.
You can't take it this far. Look how handsomely they're wrapped. They're really nice. And this is one of those things. Now, this is the thing. This is one of those. You gotta go with this. This is like photo opportunity. Can only be opened with your teeth.
All right. Okay.
The only way that you can open a Twinkie.
Smudge my lips.
No, that's why I did it for you.
Oh,
now.
fine. Thank you. All right. Yeah.
It's a kitchen.
Yeah, it's kitchen.
And there you see in the Twinkie are the 3 little portholes of
Twinkies.
cream.
Wow. That is a calorie grenade.
You have any interest in remarrying again?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'd like to get married. I have a nice, interesting life. It would be very nice to share that
Share it with someone.
And yet, it has to be a really special person because it's sort of a crazy, interesting life. And nice to have dinner and nice to have lunch.
Sharing.
Yes. But the chaos that sort of surrounds everything is a little hard to take, I think.
Well, you are a mogul. You run a huge corporation. Would the man you'd be interested in have to be an equal? Would he have to be a mogul?
No, probably better if you weren't.
He could just have like a really good show on cable?
How about Gardner?
Gardner?
Are you proposing to me at lunch?
Well, it just occurred to me that if a mogul isn't needed, but I don't do gardening. That's the only.
You don't.
I want to ask you a kind of serious question. Last August in New York, you had heart palpitations, were rushed to the hospital, and you said you thought that you were dying. Obviously, you survived beautifully. But how has life changed for you since? Backstage at the Academy Awards, 30 seconds before you're going to come walking out, the camera's going to be on you. 50 million people all over the world looking at you live. What does it feel like back there for you? Tonight, we've got table talk about fame.
I'm a guy that started very late in my life to get this kind of attention.
Fortune.
First dime I ever had, I hired a cook.
And food. A lot of food. Well, you're a lot of men. 4 Hollywood heavyweights. 4 actors who stood the test of time. First, Debbie Reynolds recalls her tumultuous life.
I mean, you literally have seen it all and been through it all.
I certainly have.
And Danny Aiello explains the perks of being a star.
So you know the menu here.
I know it well, and it's helpful not having to pay for it, too.
Then Brian Dennehy takes us on a tour of Broadway and shares some food philosophies.
Inside every fat man is another fat man saying, how the hell with it.
And finally, acting legend Robert Duvall takes us to the country for a meal just like Mama used to make.
This is your mother's recipe?
Right, exactly.
And Francis Ford Coppola wanted it.
Yeah, I wouldn't give it to him.
What is the most outrageous white lie you have ever told?
Jenny, you've been arrested 4 times.
Oh, there he goes with the bacon again.
4-time heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield. Bill Boggs, nice to see you again. Bob Costas takes us to the restaurant of his choice, but don't expect filet mignon and foie gras.
We want a brat with sauerkraut and plenty of secret stadium sauce.
Freeze frame. There are more earthquakes here than any other place in North America. About 11,000 a year. Although it's much safer than it sounds, and it's a perfect starting off point for my photographic adventures in Southern California. Hi, I'm Bill Boggs. Welcome to Freeze Frame, San Diego. Are you ready, Helen?
I'm ready.
Low gear? We're out of here. This is the Kennesaw Mountain National Battlefield Park, located 3 miles from Marietta, Georgia, 5 miles from Atlanta. In the summer of 1864, Confederate troops, led by General Joseph Johnson, dug in a defensive line here to stop General Sherman and his armies from reaching Atlanta. Now, of course, we're not taking just any train to Paris. This is the fabled Orient Express of myth and history and poetry, where we're going to get extraordinary food from the moment we step onto this 80-year-old car. Hi, I'm Bill Boggs from the Food Network.
I'm Steve Luck. I'm the kind of steward.
Oh, pleasure to meet you. Thank you. Chips, dip. Now you know you can do better than that. Next, Sarah Moulton's all-star menu, then 4-alarm chili and eggplant caviar from Martha Stewart, and a tailgate party at a New York Jets game with Gordon Elliott. Food Network, Super Food Fest.
He's the host of Bill Boggs' Corner Table on the Food Network. Bill Boggs. Transit menus. I noticed you're wearing glasses. For me, when I go into a restaurant, and this happened to me about 6 months ago, I noticed I had a very difficult time. I was in a restaurant with a considerably younger woman, and I could not read the menu. It seems like the print is getting a little smaller.
That's true. I always have to take my glasses off in order.
Well, so that's it. That's exactly the thing. So I had to give it to her. She reads me the advertising. I felt like Gramps. So to correct this problem, I'm doing what a lot of baby boomers are doing. I have myself fitted with AccuView bifocal contact lenses, so I'm like Batman.
Hi, Bill Boggs here at the New York Auto Show with some of the must-see cars at the Dodge exhibit. And finally, you have got to see the Charger RT concept car. It's going to remind you of the glory days of muscle cars, but with a modern twist, because this car runs on natural gas. Come see all the great Dodge cars and trucks at the New York Auto Show.
We have an interview with Bill Boggs.
Yes, Bill Boggs. Thank you very much. A pleasure to be here.
Bill Boggs, I knew you when? 30 years ago in the old Studio 54 days?
Was it only 30 years ago?
20
They're making a movie about Studio 54, and we're not in it.
Oh, we're not?
Good.
I went maybe 4 times my whole life. That scene wasn't for me.
Well, I went more than 4 times,
Did
and I survived.
News Force Bill Boggs is there now. What do you know, Bill?
Well, Jane, I'll tell you exactly what I know. I know I'm in front of Trump Tower, and I know this may be or may not be the summertime residence of Mr. and Mrs. Michael Jackson. They may be moving in at this very moment. I do know this all day long. World news organizations, tabloids, and fans like you see here have been staring at Trump Tower, just looking at it, wondering if this incredible story could be true.
You're watching WNBC for New York. And now.
Good morning, Bill Boggs here in New York, where it's 41 degrees outside and cloudy.
This is a Showtime Championship Boxing Report Update with Bill Boggs.
We're in Glasgow, Scotland, where on Saturday night, Mike Tyson returns to heavyweight action against hard-punching Lou Savarese in an outdoor fight in front of an expected 50,000 fans.
And in a few days, Showtime brings you other boxing action in form of the new Showtime original series, Resurrection Boulevard. On the set at the Paramount lot in LA is one of the stars, Marisol Nichols.
And here's the man who knows that the only thing that's always in style is style itself, Bill Boggs.
Why did you write a book exactly like this, giving advice?
Because they pay me. They pay me, I do it.
All right, well, it comes with the picture. Will you sign it later for me?
Sure.
All right, good.
Cost you $2.
Welcome to our midday program. Today's a show I've been looking forward to doing for a long time because I have a great deal of admiration for our guest. Our guest is Mario M. Cuomo, who is the governor of the family of the state of New York. Will you please welcome Governor Cuomo? Governor, thank you very much. I just want to tell viewers, having had the privilege of reading the book, that there's a great deal of philosophy in the book, but there's a tremendous there's a tremendous amount of excitement. This book has the feeling of a rocky, come from behind, guy hitting a home run with 2 outs in the last of the 9th inning with maybe a 2-2 count, not a 3-2 count. So there's a wonderful story involved, and the spirit rises and falls as your spirit rises and falls. But I was wondering, since I am a journal keeper myself, and I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years, are there times when you don't want to face your journal? I've seen a lot of your concerts. Where did the idea for the capes come from? I love that, where they put those capes. Who ever thought that up? I got an idea. Let's put capes on them at the end of the show. Where does that come from? How did you meet Frank Sinatra, and what was there about the young Sammy Davis Jr. that appealed to Frank? What were the circumstances when you first met Frank Sinatra?
I met Frank about 2 weeks before he left Tommy Dorsey's band. We replaced Tip, Tap, and Toe.
To go around the world, to come out into a coliseum in any part of the world, to have it filled from ringside to the rafters with a wall of people, all of whom have come distances to see Frank Sinatra, all of whom love Frank Sinatra. The effect of this on you as a man, not as a performer, just as a human being, can you measure it in any way, Frank? Can you assess?
No, it's tough. It's tough to measure. It's so overwhelming that there is that much affection.
Yeah.
In an auditorium, let's say, or a theater, or wherever it might be. As you say, some of the places are, wall to wall and 7 stories high. Sometimes I look up, for instance, when I play, let's say, Philadelphia or Chicago, or any of the places where they have the enormous arenas that go straight up in the air. I look up and I don't quite believe that there are people way up there. I must look like about...
I've been up there years and years ago, and you do. I have binoculars to prove it. Do you ever feel like a gladiator coming out into the arena, almost as if...
Oh, no, I'm scared. I'm not one of those gladiators. No, not at all.